Senator Manchin, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And General Brown, first of all, let me thank you for your service. I want to thank your wife and your children and your family for their service and supporting you for your service. It's a team effort, I know that. We had a nice conversation. I appreciate that very much. And I want to ask the question, follow up on this, on the financial stability of what we're dealing with and the demand in the Department of Defense and defending our country. The bottom line is we've been talking about if we do our job on time, we as Congress get our budget done by September 30th, what does that mean to you all as far as in having that on timeliness as far as financial to you? How much money would that save you by not going into the continuing resolutions or an omnibus bill at the end, how we've been doing it for far too long?
I don't have a figure. I have to come back to you, Senator, with a figure. But we can get that for you. But what I can tell you is it's the aspect of.
Well, let me just throw out one for you. Right. The American Enterprise Institute threw out a rough estimate of $200 million per day under the latest continuing resolution that covered the start of fiscal 2023. That's a total of $18 billion, just that. I've been told by retired generals who weren't on the spot, that basically have said that they could save overall 5%, minimum of 5%. And 5% across the board of $880 billion, that's $44 billion. And we've been talking about more appropriated funds for our military with all the challenges we have. The money is right there, the spending power of us doing our job. And we're going to need someone like you who's going to take the financial concerns and basically let us know how we should be able to help by just doing our job too. We asked you to do yours.
Senator, I'd agree. And, the key area that I would highlight in challenges is we lose buying power, as you described. At the same time, we lose predictability, not only for the force, but also for our industrial base to be able to produce the capabilities that are required for our joint team.
Here's one other fact, too. The Department of Defense Comptroller noted that from fiscal year 1991 to 2010, the average delay for defense appropriations was 29 days. The average delay for the appropriations for defense was 29 days. That's a tremendous amount of money over the period of time that we've talked about. I would hope that you would work with us in trying to make sure that we are keeping our feet to the fire to make sure you have the resources to do the job that we need you to do. That's my commitment to you. Sir, going to another topic, fiscal responsibility and pay. I've been extremely concerned the lack of progress in the business modernization, auditing, commercial cost comparison, independent evaluations of programs, how it's run. The Department of Defense is the only department in the federal government that we don't have an audit. Myself and Senator John, the late John McCain, our dear friend, worked with me on that. We tried our darndest, and we got a few of them done, but not many. So if you could commit to getting the department audited and making sure they do it in a timely fashion, it would be very helpful for us to do our job here to make sure that we're appropriating the funds that are needed.
Senator, I commit to work with you on that.
The other thing is the concerns have been validated year after year with the abolishment of the Chief Management Office. They abolished the Chief Management Officer position within the department in 2020, and most recently with the abolishment of the cost assessment and program evaluation. Not only do they don't want to audit, they don't want anyone being held accountable to oversee to make sure they would audit. So thankfully I had an amendment in NDAA this year to reinstate the Chief Management Officer, the CMO, that was adopted into the Senate and to assure the department has leadership position. So based on your 40 years of military service and your nomination to become the most senior member of our military in the service, do you believe that a confirmed and chartered Chief Management Officer is a position that the department and you, if confirmed, would benefit from and will basically support?
Senator, I agree that having that position filled or someone filling that position to help us go through the audit process like you described to make sure we're doing our aspects of fiscal responsibility is important.
The problem we had before, it never had support from the top. And you know yourself, if the leaders don't support it, it's not going to happen. And that's why they said, well, it was meaningless. It wasn't doing the job. They had no charter to do it. There was no direction for them to do it. But I guarantee you, it needs to be done, and no business with any type of value to it whatsoever would ever operate without an assessment value, an officer that can do the management, the whole process. So it's there, it's coming back for you, sir, so we hope you take advantage of it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Manchin. Senator Kramer, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, General Brown, your entire family. Thank you for your service. Congratulations on the nomination. Let me just follow up with Senator Manchin's point about the Chief Management Officer. I just had to turn around and ask myself, why did we get rid of it again? I remember when it happened. I remember the person in the position. We did it to